Uh-oh, Warner Brothers frustrated over Batman #2 delays. But Gunn defends Matt Reeves. Batman looks upset and sad and frustrated too. Despite James Gunn recently praising Matt Reeves and his Batman franchise, a new report suggests there's been real tension behind the scenes. According to Puck News, DC Studios co-heads James Gunn and Peter Safran expected Reeves to deliver the Batman Part 2 script over a year ago. It's now been 3 years since the Batman hit theaters and grossed nearly $800 million with a sequel announced almost immediately. Warner Brothers execs, especially CEO David Zaslav, are reportedly growing impatient with the slow pace, not the least of which it's impossible for it not to collide with their DCU plans. Yeah. The report says Reeves is set to return his full script on Monday. Well, maybe he did. I haven't heard, but maybe he did, which would finally kick the next phase of development into motion. While that may calm nerves for now, the delays have reportedly already caused frustration at multiple levels of the company, as Batman is WB's biggest IP. The DC co-heads Gunn and Peter Safran initially expected the script more than a year ago, Puck notes. So yeah, the executives are frustrated at the delay all the way up to Warner Discovery CEO David Zaslav. The site says that some insiders reportedly believed Warner Brothers was ready to move on from Reeves if the script wasn't delivered soon. But the delays are not entirely new, as Reeves is known to be a meticulous, slower-paced filmmaker. Personal matters also reportedly contributed to the hold-up. In an interview published the same day as the Puck piece, Gunn directly addressed the speculation coming to Reeves' defense. People should get off Matt's nuts, because it's like, let the guy write the screenplay in the amount of time he needs to write it. That's just the way it is. He doesn't owe you something because you like his movie. I mean, you like his movie because of Matt. So let Matt do things the way he does. Well, it's not about the audience at this point. It's about the company you work for. It's Batman is not his property, and they expected him to produce a film in a timely manner, and all this time has gone by, and he's unable to do it. Now, this is more akin to a personal problem, and then that's unfortunate, but it means they need to find someone else to get this going. And Matt Reeves can remain executive producer and stuff like that. And perhaps could come back later on another film, or even the third Batman or something like that, to get this going, because you needed it to be done rather soon, especially when you end up with this two Batman situation, which earlier on seemed to wanted to avoid. So this answer doesn't cut it. I mean, give him a break or whatever, and I can understand Gunn being a director, has sympathies for another director, but reality is what it is. And that this is like the fandom is getting upset and not seeing it and all that. It's an aspect, but it's not really the most important one. If Warner is like, what the hell? And all of the best time is the window is closed after the success of the Penguin, and if you could have, oh man, if only you could have capitalized on that. And now, it's much later than it should have been. And to be honest, I think they should have just had the team behind the Penguin series do Batman 2. Yeah. So Gunn's response is rather blunt, but what it says is a clear show of support, suggesting Gunn isn't interested in replacing Reeves or rushing the creative process, at least publicly. Reeves, The Batman Part 2, is still scheduled to release October 1st, 2027, but Puck News questions whether that date will hold. A Warner Brothers insider says the studio is currently aiming to start production in January 2026 after Robert Pattinson wraps work on Dune 3. If the script and pre-production stay on track, the 2027 date could still be met. But if anything slips further, all bets are off. A Warner source told me they're still planning on the shoot beginning in January. After just repeating what he just said. Yeah, well, all right. So, yeah, maybe. But, you know, and it's really sad. We don't really, there's been rumors and whatnot about whatever Reeves is dealing with, and that's unfortunate. And that's a real, you know, a bad thing. But business is what it is. And like I said, you know, don't throw him away like they did before over Snyder and everything. But just, you know, he can be the executive producer, have input on it. But if he's unavailable to do the story, you need someone else to do it and come in on that. And I think that team on Penguin is excellent. Could really pull that off. Perhaps even better, as I was not a big fan of the Batman film. There's a lot of cool stuff about it, but overall, not that great. Not great. The Penguin series is leaps and bounds superior to that. And then, you know, and then they got Matt Reeves. He's involved with the, you know, the Batman cartoon. He's involved with Clayface, stuff like that. And I guess they're still going to do the Arkham series for DCU, and he's got his hand in that. That sort of thing. And it's just the reality of the situation of you've got this personal matter that's conflicting with your abilities to get this out. So, plus you got Robert Pattinson. It's nobody ever gets younger, you know. And that was the joke where they had the photoshopped image of him being old man Batman and stuff like that. Yeah. So. Yeah, something of that nature would have to come about. But still, let's say you decide that now. It's all right, Reeves, we waited as long as we could. We've got to move on. But at this point, I don't think you can, or maybe you could, have somebody cobble together something. But even that's risky because it might be crappy, you know, to make that date, which is already kind of late. I mean, really, Batman needed to be out next year, but then nevertheless, to get that underway, maybe they could, but if that can't happen, then I think this gets canceled, and then you know, Gunn's got to get on his Batman and DCU project to work. You've got to get your Batman there. Batman's the star. It's just the way it is.